As many of you have noticed, our country is deeply divided. For those of you who haven't noticed, our country is deeply divided. Half the people seem to be clinging to old-fashioned values like faith, patriotism, and decency, and the other half vote for the Democrats. But we here at the Andrew Klavan Show believe that through education and understanding, we can begin to build bridges between us conservatives and the evil knuckleheads on the left. So today we'd like to examine a key principle of what we laughingly call leftist thought, namely relativism. Relativism is the idea that there is no absolute truth, knowledge, or morality, but that each culture forms its own sense of what's true or false, or right or wrong. Relativists claim that there are cultures where our most deeply held morals and values do not apply. Places where infidelity is acceptable, places where cowardice is admired, places where murder is just an ordinary event that one must get used to. Places like France, in other words. According to these leftists, the virtue of relativism is that it makes you less judgmental about other cultures. Let's say, for example, you're a woman traveling in Saudi Arabia and you find yourself being flogged to death for exposing your bare ankle. Rather than taking a haughty tone that privileges your Western values, you might instead observe that when one is in Saudi Arabia, one must learn to behave like a retrograde savage without the moral sense God gave a coyote. Or you might prefer to stay in America with your relatives, hence the term relativism. The important point is that if you don't believe anything is good or bad, you won't be prejudiced, which is bad in your culture. In other cultures, prejudice is good, which is bad in your culture, and so on. Relativism derives from the belief that there is no God, and therefore there can be no absolute moral values. Many philosophers have expressed this belief. For instance, Nietzsche said, "God is dead, so when an eagle feeds on a lamb, it is neither good nor evil." God responded a few years later by saying, "Now Nietzsche is dead, so ha 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 ha." But of course, the belief in God has also been destroyed by science, which has shown that the universe is without reason and without cause. Science accomplished this by using reason to discover the causes of things, which would only be possible in a universe that had reason and cause and therefore had been created by God. Scientists haven't quite made sense of this yet, but it doesn't matter because everything's relative. Now, there could be some drawbacks to relativism. For instance, if one culture believes in tolerance and another culture believes in slaughtering everyone who believes in tolerance, it could lead to occasional friction. But it's safe to say the situation won't continue very long, and soon there'll only be one of these cultures left. So, hooray for relativism. Trigger warning, I'm Andrew Klavan, and this is The Andrew Klavan Show.